See if I get a good angle here. So last weekend I made this box, made the lid for it. And I said I was going to make a handle and do all that off camera. Failed to get it done. So we're going to do that tonight. But I'm not going to mill more lumber just to make a handle for the lid. I've already got the lid cut. So let's head over to the lumber pile. We're going to find the scraps that I had left over from this project. And we're just going to use pre-milled scraps to make a little handle, fancy handle. I think I see most of the offcuts there. It's been a long week. Glad tomorrow's Friday. I don't want to do walnut. Walnut's not going to match. The box is mahogany and wangy. I'm just trying to make it. My goal for tonight is just to get a handle made for the lid. There's the piece with the epic almost kickback on me. But I think we can use it. It was supposed to be a side for the box. We've got two 45-degree miters on each end. But when I was cutting the groove for the bottom, it started to kick back on me and a big chunk blew out. So we're going to hold on to this. Got this offcut from the lid. It's pretty thick. Might be able to use that. And another clean side of the box. So we might be able to do something like that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that wide. It'd be a weird looking handle, but we can always shave it down. We got this wangy left. Got this chunk of wangy. Foreskin, huh? Okay. It's a little thicker wangy. I think we'll put this in the use pile. All right. I think we got enough scraps. Let's go over to the workbench and brainstorm. What else we got? Oh, this thing. Where that went sideways. Pretty good chunk. All right, let's head to the workbench and we'll brainstorm. No, actually, let's head over here to this workbench. It's been a long week. I haven't been out here cleaning up much. So I made this box last weekend, right? And I said I was going to make the handle for the lid off camera. Been busy all week. This week's kind of sucked, so figure tonight we'll crank out a handle, hopefully in an hour. And then maybe get the wheels turning on the next project for tomorrow. But I went back to the scrap wood pile to make the handle. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy wood. You don't have to remill stuff. We're just going to use scrap offcuts. So here's our lid. That'd be a funny, weird looking handle. Not much to grab onto. So I'm thinking thin this down a little bit. And maybe find a way to put some wingy in here. Might have to thin that down a little bit too. It's a pretty wild handle, but something simple. All right. I don't know. Should I double this up? I don't know. Let's not complicate this too much. Let's just keep it 2 pieces. Yeah, I'm thinking one this way, maybe. One that way, and we'll fancy this up. But to be cut in small pieces like this, we're going to go over here to the table saw, get out the old table saw sled so we can make real small cuts. Oh, I did get the table saw sled hung. I think I did that Monday. That way it's always sitting on my floor like a bum. To the table saw. What's going on, Annihilation, man? How's your week been? I'm really glad tomorrow's Friday. All right. Oh, nice. 3-day weekend or Friday, Saturday? I had to call in Monday. My son wound up getting the flu. So that was exciting. That was a fun time. Let's grab the lid so we can get a good proportion. I mean, that's not a bad proportion there. Let's try that. That's a pretty demanding industry too. Especially, are you a mechanic or a pilot? I couldn't do it. Too much responsibility, too much stress, anxiety. I would have had a heart attack. All right, let's give this a shot. I've actually known 3 guys that actually are airline mechanics. And the one guy worked in Chicago and commuted from Indy. He lives in Indy. Like, yeah, you guys get paid pretty well. Michigan. I'm your neighbor to the south, buddy. That's not quite enough. I mean, you could probably pick up the lid with that. But let's find a way to inset the wingy, and then obviously not just leave it like a rectangle. We'll make it a little fancier. I got it at Rockler. Their stuff's pretty expensive, though. So I found this. It's kind of like an off-brand. Rockler's perfectly good. Love it. But when I went to my hardwood lumber yard last time, I found a red version of T-Track by Shopbox. This stuff's like pennies on the dollar compared to the Rockler stuff. The only problem is it only accepts like certain size hex bolts. I think that's going to be an upcoming project video, is that old kitchen table I call a workbench. I'm going to make a fake new top for it, paint it black, and add a bunch of T-Track. All right, how long is this thing? We're going to cut the wingy a little oversized. So I'm not measuring anything. I don't think I've measured anything this whole time for this project. All right, that one's not long enough to reach. All right. Where's this thing stuck on? There we go. Oh yeah, no problem. They're pretty convenient. They're worth the money. Hey, buddy. What's up? I'm recording, buddy. You gotta stay in. What's up? What?
I'm going to bed.
Oh, you want a hug? Give me a hug.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, buddy. I'll be up in a little bit, okay?
Alright, tomorrow's Friday.
Yep. Tomorrow's Friday.
The reason to come up and get my stuff, because last night I had, because 2 nights I had to like.
Okay, I'll be up. Love you, buddy.
Love you, Dad.
Normally, I would change out this blade with a flat tooth blade to cut a groove in here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So now we're going to cut a groove in this piece to accept the wingy. I don't know. Probably like that. I think that looks cooler. Yeah. I don't know if my... Ooh, I didn't plan this out too well. I'm going to grab a pencil so I can help hold that down. This right clamp has barely got anything on this. I almost cut it in half. I forgot to adjust the height. All right, here we go. Fingers crossed. I thought I put on a scary movie in the background here, but now I'm almost wondering if it's not like a... I knew it'd be a comedic spoof. it's got a ways to go. It's not fitting yet. This little piece fits, but too short. I think a couple more passes will be all right. All right, I'm grabbing another playing card. Still got plenty of room to cut out. Why is that sticking so bad? Almost. All right, one more cut and we got it. And then we'll shape this, make it a little fancier. Then I think to help center this in the lid, we might put a tiny little dowel here in the center of this, in the center of the lid. I've done it before where you just kind of mark it out and then use blue tape to decide where it's going to go. But I think a dowel would be a little more accurate. I moved my stop block. I got to talking like an idiot. All right. Hopefully I didn't just screw up. I loosened my stop block and then started talking. I don't know if it's in place right. I don't know. Yeah, I screwed it up. Hi, Dave. Thanks for hanging out, man. I'm making a handle for the lid of that box I made last weekend. I said I was going to do it off camera, and I never did. What is going on here? It's like I moved the stop block. This has to be it. Unbelievable. Oh. It fits a little bit. We're almost there. I just don't want to overcut the groove because it's a pretty simple box. The handle's the only thing that looks real neat. going on here? I mean, I am only moving a playing card, but we should be making more progress than this. I'm just pinning it that way. Maybe this thing wasn't cut evenly. I'm starting to think this wingy wasn't cut to the same thickness. This stuff was incredibly difficult to work with. Listen to this. I don't know if this is going to come through. All right, so mahogany, wingy. And I'm willing to bet that's in the same thickness end to end, because it kind of fits in. It barely fits in there. All right, we're gonna try two playing cards. Now watch, this will be way too much. The groove's gonna be way too big. There we go, that made a little noise. A little snug. Hope my mahogany doesn't blow up. There we go. So I'm thinking, hell, the wingy's bent up now. All right, we're going to square this up a little bit. But I'm thinking make 45-degree angles on the wingy that oppose this angle. So they'll kind of curve up. Am I making a helicopter? No, not today. That'd be pretty cool though. I don't think that wingy is cut thick to the same thickness. No, it's not. It's like a 1/16 inch thicker this way than it is over here. No, it's a 32nd off. Let's try to make this. It's too thick anyways. All right, this is gonna be sketchy. Pretty thin. Let's try this. This might backfire because I have no way to clamp this down now. It actually looks a little more square. Wow. Now both ends are 11/16. So we just shaved a tiny little piece off one corner. So now I'm thinking chop this corner and this corner off at a 45. I don't know if I have any 45-degree angles cut. Hold on. Let me head over here real quick. I'm just wondering if I got any small squares. I don't see any small squares up here. It's okay. We can make one. It's gonna be hard to do because this wing is real dark. But I want to mark in the middle of this board, the mahogany. And they come out at a 45. All right, I'm not going to be able to show this on camera, but I'll mark it like that. I'm just gotta keep going over it because the wing is so dark you can't see the pencil marks. I need to get one of those. I think people buy like white lead sewing pencils. You know, women use for sewing, and they use like it's almost like white chalk, but it's somehow white lead. All right, we're gonna make a quick 45-degree angle with this thing here. It's only gotta be about yay big. So what I want to do is cut a square using the stop block, and then just cut corner to corner on the square. It's not going to cut through squat if I don't raise the blade. Takes forever for this thing to spin down. So to make this a square, I cheat. I just hold this up against the blade, move the stop block over, cut it sideways. This one's a clean edge. That one's a little cleaner. Now we got our square. I'm going to turn it sideways and hopefully cut it from corner to corner. And that's going to be close enough to 45 for this. I actually did wind up buying a battery for my digital angle gauge. But it's not necessary for this. That one's not long enough. All right, actually, let me go get the digital angle measure just for poops and giggles. I'm interested to see how close that is to 45. All right, 0. What do we think? How close do you think I got with that scientific method there? Any guesses? You got it upside down. Let's see. So what? I'm 1 degree off. Not bad. Yeah, 1 degree off. Actually, was that half a degree? I forgot it goes out to a tenth. I don't know what's going on there. 136 C. Oh well, it's pretty fun, pretty interesting. So now we're going to use our little triangle. I'm going to see if I can show you. See the pencil line? I'm just going to line up the pencil line with the tooth on the blade. So it's hard to see. Might zoom in a little bit here. I'm gonna zoom in a tad for you guys so you can see this. All this is doing is holding it at a 45-degree angle. I just have to line up the pencil mark with the blade, and you can tell where it cuts by the hole in the table saw sled. And then hold that down as tight as I can. Now, I don't know if I trust one clamp to hold this wingy to cut at an angle, so I'm probably still going to use the pin, even though I wish I had a Ticonderoga number 2. That little pink rubber eraser helps a lot. Yo, we don't need the blade that high. Got it high enough to cut a 2x4. What's up, Silvio? The table saw sled? Hi, Rodolfo. Yeah, man, if you don't have a table saw sled, you got to make one. I had this table saw for a year before I made this one about a month ago. It makes like small parts woodworking a lot easier. And I don't know if you go back, I made this in about 3 hours. But I mean, I was booking. I moved pretty slow in the shop. Started to slip a little bit. So I think I'm gonna put that clamp there. Then I'm gonna use a pencil with a rubber eraser. Because when I was using the pin, as soon as it touched that hard wingy, it started to move. All right, this time I'll get a little closer to the blade for you. So I think it's a little fancier than nothing. And actually what I might try to do is after I get both angles cut the wingy a little thinner. We're going to do this side. All right, I'm really going to try to clamp this down this time. That thing. Yeah, it kind of looks like a weird hot dog. I don't know if I like it, but I'm almost thinking I have a plan. Hmm. It's not long enough. I just don't think I like that. Um, Let me grab the box. Geez. So that's the lid. I mean, I guess it doesn't look too bad in there. I just think that looks a little goofy. But I think we're going to roll with it because when it's in the box, it doesn't look that bad. Hey, Mike, how are you, man? Did you get a hose for those dust collector parts yet? All right, so I think I'm going to mark the center of this piece. the center of this lid and just notch a little hole for a dowel. And then we'll be done for the night. We're almost done here. Where'd my little dowel go? All right. So it's a hair under 13/16. Better write this down before I screw it up and forget. By 4 3/16. Yeah, I'm just gonna drill a hole in this, little hole in the lid, slap a dowel in it, and then we'll glue it up, and that's it. Four, 8, 12, 16. Man, my eyes are getting so bad it's hard to mark 13:30 seconds. When I did handles like this before, I used to just add wood glue and then a little bit of CA glue. But I think this is going to make it a little more precise. And then 2 and what is that? 2 and 3/30 seconds. We'll see. That looks pretty centered. I hate doing fast math on camera. You don't want to go too slow and look like an idiot, and then you don't want to go too fast and screw everything up. Oh yeah, I screwed that up big time. Let me get the other one back. Pretty good. Nine and an eighth. By 3 and a little under 5/8. Or 1/16. No, wait. 4 and 9/16. You lost track of time? Yeah, I don't know. What time is it? That's about bedtime. I'm going to be sending out some pencil marks here, boys. Okay, so that one's good. What do we say for the other way? What's half of 3 and 5/8? 3, 1.5, 5/16. One and a half. It's 5/16. 1 and 13/16. Sounds good to me. Let's try it. 13. 15, 14, 13. Close enough. All right. Let's go drill this dowel and call it a night. And really, this isn't going to be load bearing. It's just to index the center of the handle to the center of the top. Let's head over to the drill press. I just want to test this, make sure that not all dowels are created equal. Thanks, Barry. I wound up cheating a little bit. I was off quite a bit. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna just hit in between those two off lines. But yeah, you're right. I was wrong. Oh dang, that's snug. Wonder if I sand it down a little bit on the edge, it would make it easier. Yeah, this 1/4 inch dowel, 1/4 inch bit, and it's snug. How far off is my table? It's not out. It must have wiggled on me. Ooh, that's pretty deep. I don't think we want to go that deep. Just want a little. I just want to kiss it. All right, I'm gonna see if I can hold this by my hand. Probably can't. This will probably go wrong. God. Wiggled at the very last second. Okay. Something went wrong there. It's centered, but it's not deep enough at all. What happened? This table comes with the laser lines, but like as soon as you adjust the table depths, it's all screwed up. That's way, yeah. Perfect. I'm clamping this down. I'm done honking around with this. There we go. All right. Hi, David. So now I'm just going to cut this over at the table saw sled to a tiny itty bitty nub. After I find the table saw sled, it seems to have been consumed by stuff. Some of this crap out of the way. We just got to cut a tiny little piece, and hopefully it doesn't just blow away. How deep was the hole on the lid? It's a little deep. All right. Last cut. Here we go. It might have been too small. Too small. Then I cut a teeny tiny little nub. Kind of forgot to account for how much the blade was going to remove. teeny tiny little piece. Man, I should have used the stop block, because if this is too long, I'm gonna have to cut another one. Oh, that's way damn too long. Let's get the stop block back out. So I ain't got. Shot out the hole. I was hoping to catch it with my stomach. It keeps shooting out the back. All right, I'm not going to use the stop block this time. I think it's funneling it through the back. To the bandsaw. Something is in that SME place till I need it? What do you mean? I really thought the table saw sled would work for that, but it did not like tiny round parts. They just kept shooting out the back and hit me in the gut. What's up, Henry? Actually, this is just going to fall through the neck. I got this offcut that I used to test a bead edge beading bit. I'll just slip it in there. You see that thing fly off? It's over here on the floor somewhere. Hold on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, all right. I'll tape it down. We'll tape it down. It literally just jumped up off the bandsaw and flew over there into the scrap of wood. All right, test one. I think that's still too freaking long, but at least I have a way to cut it the right size now. Oh yeah, we got a little gap. We got a little bit of a gap, but I've got a way to measure it now. So now I know to go substantially shorter. Yeah, it's hard. When I made the first cut, I held it all the way to the edge of the board. This is it, boys. I can feel it. I hate to try pounding this in with a hammer, but I might have to. It's too snug. There we go. I am going to have to tap it in real quick. There we go. We did it. Let's see if I can still get it off. Yep. I'm not even going to add glue to that dowel. It's in there so good. It's just to keep this in place. Here we go. This will be the end for tonight. I'll glue it up later or tomorrow. It's getting late. So there's our lid. Wondering how dark. I wonder if this much wingy. See how it's kind of like brown and black stripes? I wonder if it's going to get jet black like this. I hope it does. So we got the lid. Well, it's not glued on. Got our fake bottom. We can hide money. Or actually, I've got a really thin wallet I could put in there. Right on. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in the shop. Gonna wrap this up here tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow after work. Glue this together, finish it, and then let me turn off the TV real quick so I can show you what. I went to the lumber yard last week. Finally made it. I've got two big projects. Well, I can't say big projects. I got one big project I want to take on. I don't know if I'm going to live stream it. But we went and got a bunch of plywood and probably not enough poplar for what I want to do, but it might be. Fingers crossed. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll glue this together tomorrow. Finish it up. Have a good night, y'all.